I want to get to exactly how it breaks down. As of right now, the president is said to still be considering this move. And while none of the people he is targeting are still in the government, current officials are certainly taking notice. Right now, these are the men and women on the list. Former CIA Director John Brennan, former Director of National Intelligence James Clapper, former CIA Director Michael Hayden, former National Security Advisor Susan Rice, former FBI Director Jim Comey, and former Deputy FBI Director Andrew McCabe.
The president is exploring the mechanisms to remove security clearance because they've politicized and in some cases monetized their public service and security clearances. Making baseless accusations of improper contact with Russia or being influenced by Russia against the president is extremely inappropriate. And the fact that people with security clearances are making these baseless charges provides inappropriate legitimacy to accusations with zero evidence.
Baseless accusations against Russia. I'm going to remind you that current DNI Director Dan Coats said it's like a blinking red light ahead of what happened in 9/11, the warnings that a cyber attack could be in the future again. And I want to take a minute and think about what Sarah Sanders just said. She called out those officials for using their public service for political purposes and for monetary gain. No, that wasn't an SNL skit. We already know the president has attacked U.S. intelligence agencies literally hundreds of times since launching his 2016 campaign, repeatedly describing the FBI and Justice Department as corrupt. That includes attacks during political rallies, both as a candidate and as president. Just last week, the president suggested he's the victim here.
Do you think any intelligence agencies, U.S. intelligence agencies, are out to get you?
Well, certainly in the past, it's been terrible. You look at Brennan, you look at Clapper, you look at Hayden, you look at Comey, you look at McCabe, you look at what's happened. Take a look at all of the shenanigans that have gone on. Very hard to have confidence in that group.
As for making money, it is true that Comey wrote a book, and 3 of the others are network analysts, although Brennan's spokesperson says he has not made a penny off his clearance. But what about the president? According to Open Secrets, nearly $16 million have been paid to Trump properties since 2016, nearly all of it coming from Trump's own campaign and the RNC. You can draw your own conclusions about whether he's profiting from his public service. So what is Trump really upset about? I'm going to guess this.
President Trump made President Trump look unstable, erratic, and thin-skinned.
I don't think he's medically unfit to be president. I think he's morally unfit to be president.
The policies that this president has pursued globally have served Vladimir Putin's interests in dividing the West.
It is a betrayal of the nation. He is giving aid and comfort to the enemy, and it needs to stop.
And before we go on, let's also remember the records of these people the president is targeting. Brennan, Clapper, Hayden, and Comey all served under Democratic and Republican administrations. Hayden, he's a 4-star general who spent 40 years in the Air Force. Clapper served 2 tours of duty in Southeast Asia. Despite that, Senator Rand Paul, who floated the idea to the president, suggested that this issue is an easy political win.
I think there's a great deal of resolve because I don't think we should reveal secrets to people who are calling the commander-in-chief treasonous. I don't think there's many people in America who are going to disagree with that judgment, that we would continue to give secrets to a person calling the president treasonous. So I do think that the American people are going to agree with him on this. And I would probably just go even further and say that really ex-CIA agents, once retired, should no longer have top-secret clearance.
But while Rand Paul calls this a no-brainer, Democrats like Ron Wyden say it looks like the president is compiling, quote, an enemies list. As for folks being targeted, they're staying relatively quiet. Comey and McCabe don't even have security clearance. That is what's so important. Sarah Sanders gets on the podium, all ready to roll, naming people who don't even have clearance. That is sloppy nonsense. Those men lost it when they were fired. For others like James Comey, it's simply a reminder that Clapper is a reminder that the president is exploring new ground when it comes to punishing those who speak out against him.
If he chooses to do it for political reasons, well, I think that's a terrible precedent, and it's a very sad commentary. And it's an abuse of the system.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.